presented by Whisperverse USA, where your deepest calm meets your quietest fears. And sleep opens the door to stories your waking mind has forgotten. Tonight, you're not just resting. You're being called back to yourself, to the hidden chambers of your mind, and to the part of you that's still listening, long after the world has gone silent. So close your eyes, or don't. Just listen, not like you usually do, but like it's the last thing you need to hear before sleep claims you. Because tonight, something shifts. This isn't your usual escape from the noise. This is the moment your nervous system learns, for the first time, or maybe for the last, what it really means to let go. You've been holding on to more than you realize, to deadlines that carve their weight into your shoulders, to quiet heartbreaks you didn't even name, to that ever-present voice telling you you're not done yet, not ready to rest. But here, in this space, you are done. You are ready, and you don't have to carry anything anymore. So, inhale. Now exhale slower than that. Let your entire body hear it. This is what release feels like. Now let me guide you. You're not alone anymore in that bed, or on that couch, or wherever. Your heart has wandered tonight. You're part of something quieter, older, more honest than sleep alone. And it begins not with doing, but with undoing. Undo the pressure in your jaw. Let your tongue relax, as if you're saying a truth you've never spoken aloud. Let the back of your neck melt into whatever is holding it. A pillow, a hand, a dream. Now ask yourself, quietly, without judgment, what would make this body feel safer? Do you need another pillow? A blanket drawn tighter across your chest, like a shield against the cold world you've been fighting all day? Adjust, shift. Let the room respond to your need. Let your own care become your rebellion. Because when you send your body the message that it matters, your nervous system listens, and it softens, and it begins to unlearn the myth that safety has to be earned. Tonight, we reprogram everything. You see, your nervous system, that ancient protector, is always listening to during the day. It's been on high alert, scanning and defending, ready to respond, to survive. But survival isn't what you need anymore. You need something deeper. You need restoration. And restoration doesn't come from sleep alone. It comes from giving your body permission to stop performing for a world that never stops asking. So now, let's create something together. Something sacred and secret. A space where nothing is demanded of you. Where your breath isn't a tool, but a doorway. Inhale deeply now. And this time, when you exhale, picture every moment of tension leaving. Not pushed, not forced, just gently slipping away. And as it leaves, what remains is you. The you that exists beneath the stress. The you that doesn't need to explain. The you that remembers peace was always yours. Now we'll do this again, but slower. Breathe in through your nose if you can. Let the breath fill you, not like an obligation, but like a kindness. Now exhale longer, slower. Let it carry away the small alarms that still echo in your chest. You don't need them now. Not here. Feel your arms sink a little heavier into the bed. Feel your legs forget the posture they held all day. And feel your heart not racing, not hiding, just being. This is your moment. No noise, no screens, no judgment. Just breath and silence. And the truth, that sleep doesn't come from exhaustion. It comes from safety, and safety begins inside you. We don't often talk to our bodies, but right now, whisper to yours, you're safe. You've done enough. You can let go. Say it again in your mind if you need to, because repetition is how we rewire. And tonight, your nervous system is listening with its full attention. It hears the change in your breath, It hears the stillness in the room. It knows something new is happening. Now soften your gaze, or if you haven't yet, let your eyes close gently, not tight, not squeezed, just soft, like fog rolling in over the mountains of your mind. This is how we begin to disappear from the pressure, from the performance, from the pain. And yet, somehow, in this disappearance, we finally show up for ourselves. What you're feeling now, that subtle drop in energy, that melting of edges is what they call the descent. You are descending into the deeper parts of your nervous system, where the survival mode fades and the true healing begins. Let it happen. Let it pull you down, gently. You don't have to control it. Just like the ocean pulls the tide, sleep is pulling you now, and your job to trust it. Let go of the breath control. Let your breathing be natural now. Maybe slower, maybe shallower. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Your body knows what to do from here, because it always did. You just needed to give it the silence, to remember. Your breath is still with you, quiet, steady, ancient, creating a rhythm that's not just soothing, but sacred. Let it guide you. Inhale slowly now, letting your belly raise as air enters like a calm tide, gentle but sure. Pause for a moment. Hold that breath like it's a delicate secret resting inside you. And then release, slowly, fully, as if you're letting go of the day itself, softly, like releasing the final breath from a balloon that has carried too much. As the air leaves your body, feel it draw out the tension with it, one invisible thread at a time, unraveling everything you thought you had to hold together. There it goes, the pressure, the pretending, the performance, in its place. A wave of softness moves through you, like a hush settling across your body, coaxing you deeper into the arms of the bed beneath you. Breathe in again, not because you're told to, but because your body wants it now. Slow, full, unhurried. Pause, and then let the exhale extend longer. Slower, a ribbon of release. Each breath out takes you deeper into the stillness. Heavier, softer, looser. Your muscles stop guarding. Your mind stops spinning. You are becoming vast inside, more space than structure, more peace than posture. Tension loosens its grip. Thought loosens its claim. All that's left is a whisper of awareness floating gently in the quiet. Just take a few more breaths in your own time. Let them come as they please. There's no right way, only your way. This breathing, this rhythm is not a trick, not a technique. It's a remembering. With every slow inhale, your body returns to what it knew before stress took over. With every exhale, your nervous system receives a message. It's safe. Now, you can let go. This is the moment when your body finally listens, because you're speaking in the language it understands. The breath is your signal. The silence is your sanctuary. As you continue breathing this way, allow each breath to be a thread pulling you gently inward. You are no longer out in the world. You are home, in yourself. With every gentle inhale, you return. With every slow exhale, you surrender. And in that surrender, something inside you, something soft, scared, forgotten, begins to feel safe enough to sleep. Now we shift subtly into grounding, not just mentally, but physically, viscerally, cellularly, a body scan, but not the kind that checks or corrects. This is a surrender scan, a scan of surrender. We are anchoring you now into the earth, into the present, into your own skin. So bring your attention to the weight of your body. Yes, that quiet pressure where your bones meet the bed. That's gravity, holding you, not pulling you. You are being supported now, fully, lovingly, as if the bed itself is aware of your story, and wants to help you carry it. Begin at the crown of your head. Feel it pressing gently into the pillow, not forcefully, just enough to remind you that you're real and that you're here. Now drift downward to your temples, your jaw, your neck. Notice where the weight pulls and where it melts. Slide your awareness to your shoulders. Let them drop, as if you're finally putting down a burden you've been carrying for years. The upper back, too, give it permission to soften. Let your spine loosen, one vertebra at a time, like an old door finally creaking open in a house you forgot you lived in. Feel your lower back, that quiet ache you ignored all day. Give it love. Let it sink into the surface beneath it. There's no one watching. You don't have to hold it together anymore. Down now to the backs of your legs. Your thighs, let them sink. Your knees, let them unbend in spirit, even if only in sensation. Your calves and ankles, no need to brace, no need to move. Feel the final grounding in your heels, the full weight of them, resting, releasing, remembering the stillness they were made for. Each part of your body is now being handed over to the bed, like puzzle pieces finally finding their place. With every point of contact, you are not just resting, you are trusting, and trust in this space is the truest medicine. Let your body yield. Let it hand itself over. Let go of the quiet muscles that tried to hold you up. Let go of the thoughts that swirled beneath the surface. Let it all slide into the support below you. There is nothing left for you to carry. This is your cocoon, warm, quiet, absolute. Feel it form around you. Feel the safety it offers. Let your breath deepen again, not to control, but to merge with the stillness. If there's warmth, savor it. If there's peace, rest in it. If there's nothing but silence, know that even silence has its own softness. This is the sacred pause your nervous system has craved. And now, something beautiful begins to unfold. A visualization, but not fantasy. A remembering, a return. A soft glow begins to rise, not outside, but from within. It begins at your heart, small at first, like a flicker of candlelight. But it warms quickly, expanding through your chest, a golden pulse that doesn't burn, but soothes. It wraps itself around your ribs. It spills into your arms. It glows upward through your throat, brushing your cheeks with invisible light. It radiates downward into your belly, your spine, your hips. This is not light you imagined. This is light you've always carried. Let it spread. Let it wrap around your back. Let it fill your legs and shine out the soles of your feet. It surrounds you now, a golden cocoon, a quiet sanctuary, a blanket made not of fabric but of love. You are wrapped in peace. You are held in light, and you are safe. Feel the nervous system shift again, deeper this time. Notice how your heart slows, how your chest rises more gently. There's no effort now, no fear, no thought, only ease, only presence. Maybe you feel a softening around your forehead, a calm weightlessness at the center of your brow. That's your mind letting go. That's the tension releasing its grip. You don't have to plan anymore. You don't have to fix anything. Not here, not now. There's nothing you need to be, nothing to solve, nowhere to go. You are simply here, floating in golden warmth, suspended in stillness, and somehow, you know it will be okay. You are held. You are heard. You are home. Home. Let all the tiny muscles around your eyes, your face, your jaw simply let go now, as if your body itself is sighing in relief. Feel a gentle warmth begin to spread, flowing down across your shoulders and through your arms, releasing every invisible weight you've carried today. The expectations, the effort, the heaviness of trying. Let it all melt. Let your arms grow heavy, surrendered, soft. This comforting sensation moves through your chest and belly, wrapping you in ease, then gently pouring downward into your legs, through your calves, into your feet, and all the way to the very tips of your toes. Every inch of you now, from your crown to your soles, is warm, heavy, and safe. You've stepped into a cocoon of peace where nothing is asked of you. Nothing is demanded. There's no task to remember, no pressure to perform. You are held exactly as you are, bathed in warmth, cradled in stillness. This space inside you, this quiet sanctuary, is yours. You can return here anytime. Peace isn't something you have to earn or chase. It already lives within you, waiting. Your body knows this now. Your breath has slowed, your nervous system has softened, and you are gently drifting toward the deeper places of sleep. Let yourself let go. Fully trust the stillness around you. Trust the strength within you. Tonight, you are free to rest. Let the quiet cocoon embrace you as you float into dreams. May this night bring you deep, healing sleep, and may your dreams be gentle, spacious, and sweet. From all of us here at Whisperverse USA, thank you for letting us be a part of your peace. Sleep well, dear one. You are safe. You are home.